Hello everyone, welcome back to Lake. Yes, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so if you have watched my previous video about Q&A on the basis of my personal life, so this is the second part of my Q&A in regards to my professional life, because it was like a lot of questions last time, so I divided that into two parts, personal and professional. So I've done my personal. I'll put the link in the below if you haven't watched that yet. And today I'm just gonna do my professional questions, and among all the varieties of question, I chose 10 questions out of that. So let's see what are those questions, and I'll try to give answer on the basis of my experience, and yeah, on the basis of my experience and what else. Okay, so anyway, I'll just go through one after another. So you can see the list here. So that this part was my personal life, which I've written last time, and this is the professional base, and I've chosen 10 questions for each, even though there were like plenty of questions, but I chose 10 out of it. So yeah, so the first question is, what's your profession and why? So my current profession is a nurse. And why? It was not actually my this is not a dream job for me. It's always different. When you were a kid, you have your own dream, and when you were in high school, you know what you want to do, and it's always different for me. But as per to my life changes, my life transition, I also had to change my career. I also have to change my profession, because back in India I studied psychology, and I did yoga instructor. I completed my yoga certificate, so I'm basically like certified yoga instructor. But with nurse, when you are new in a country and you need to find something to for your future, for your life, for your financial. So this is something that I chose in between, because I've never thought of becoming a nurse in my life, but I've always interested into like natural healing remedies and all. For example, like yoga, meditation, Reiki, massage and all. I always love all those natural healing remedies, but I've never thought of being a nurse. But however, yes, I studied nursing. I started from individual support Sec 3, which is a short course, and then after that it's quite interesting. At the same time, I wanted to upgrade my career. So while I was studying, when I offered the first job at my the place where I did my placement, and then after that I worked there for like almost 6 months, and then I realized, well, I don't want to stuck in this job forever, so I just want to improve myself. I want to upgrade myself. So I chose nursing, and I studied it, and then again at the same place I got job offers, so obviously why not, I took it, and currently I'm happily working there in this pandemic, and it's super busy. We always have the shortage of staff, and our staffs are always exhausted, but even as a teamwork, we have a really good team leader, and everyone is really hardworking, and we always push each other to do well as a team. So I'm really fortunate and privileged to have this job. The second question is, how was your book writing experience? Oh, great. At least someone knows that I have a book. Yes, so my book writing experience was really organic. It was the time when I was going through a lot of things which you can't even imagine. Because after year 12, I was selected into one of the best university in India, but then out of nowhere, I had to withdraw because of the discrimination, racism, Plus we didn't have parent support, or we didn't have elder support that time when we go for admission, and we were like completely a new chicken out of the eggshell. So you have no idea how the world is, you have no idea how society treats you, you have no idea how the real people when you walk out of the school life. So yeah, so after that I was so devastated. I couldn't continue my study. I had to take a year gap. I couldn't get any support, especially financial support, and then I had to take a year gap. But I started writing my poems and poetries and essays when I was in grade 2. I always wanted to be a writer when I was a kid, and I always wanted to express everything in word, because I used to be very introvert. I didn't like to talk much. I didn't like to interact with people. I always wanted to be with myself, read something, be in the library or somewhere in the corner, or even if I feel cry, I would just go to a corner, cry out a lot, and my eyes would puff out, and then I come back and then sit with other friends and all. But I barely talk, I barely share my feelings. So it was such an emotional period, such an emotional childhood that I've been through. Plus when your parents are not around, plus when your relatives are not around when you need them. Well, I'm not that I'm blaming them, it's just the circumstances that I've been through. So instead of talking to other people, instead of sharing my feeling, my sadness, my anger, or whatever you are going through, all the sentimental, I chose to write them all down. So for example, if I'm feeling so sad, I would just write something, I would just express my feeling in terms of a word, or I would just write them on a piece of paper and then collect them all. So this is how I started writing. I started collecting all my poetries, process, and all the essays from grade 2. And the book that I've published is not done by my own effort, because there are many people's hand, there are many people's support. With the help of all of their support and kindness and generosity, pushed me forward to complete them all. And yeah, if I talk about it would just go forever and ever. So I'll just make another video on how I started writing my book. So let's disregard this question. I would just make another separate video on the basis of my yeah. So I'll make another video for this question about my book. Okay, so the third question is, where did you learn yoga? So I started to learn yoga when I finished my year 12. I think I was 17 or 18, where my mom used to tell me that you should learn something like an exercise, or do something which you can always carry with you, where you don't have to depend on someone else. So that time my mom was also learning yoga from the late yoga teacher Lobsang Tönden. He's my first ever yoga instructor in my life, and yoga teacher, and one of my best friend, a very close person whom I can rely on and share and talk a lot of things about myself and whatever I'm going through. I always talk to him, and he was my first guru, yoga guru. And he is a really good teacher to many Tibetan people, non-Tibetan people, not only in India, also in Tibet, in Europe part, and to different country. So he was a great teacher, and I still always remember him. And everything I know now and everything I am now is all the credit goes to him. If he could see me at this point, like how I progressed and how I'm doing with my yoga, he would be so happy, and he would be the happiest person in the world. So yes, I learned yoga from him. First my mom go there and learn. She used to learn from him, and then she encouraged me to join with her to the class, and then I started learning after my year 12. So, okay, question number 4. Are you the youngest yoga instructor in Tibet? Well, I used to be. I am really, really proud. I'm really, really honored to say that, yes, I was the youngest yoga instructor, Tibetan yoga instructor. So, I'm sure there are many other people now, but back then, yes, I was the one, and I had multiple interviews from different journalists, and not only Tibetan, also from US and all. I used to be quite a social face, but I didn't really like those kind of interviewing stuff and all. But I would always keep that in my mind, that if I give the interview, I'm sure there are people who get inspired by me or my work on the basis of my age, and of course I always take good intention. I always have that good intention when I give interview. So yes, I was, and I'm not sure at the moment, but yes, I was the youngest yoga instructor in Tibet and in exile, and I'm really, really privileged and proud that I could say it. Yes. Okay, question number 5. How did you get into yoga? Well, okay, so it's the same question with the previous one. Where did I learn? I started to get into yoga with the help of my teacher, when late Lobsang Tundinla. So he really, really encouraged me. That time I was the youngest student in his class, and then he saw my determination. He observed. He recognized me, so he really inspired me to go forward. And then gradually he gave his platform to me. He gave his yoga studio to me when he went back to Italy. So I would lead the class. I would use the yoga studio to help others, to promote health awareness in my society. And then I went to different yoga schools, different yoga ashrams, and then eventually I was able to do a certified yoga instructor. Well, this is also a huge topic for me, so I would love to make another video for that one. Look, so I'm getting lots of ideas. It's all because of your help and your interest. Yep, so I would prefer to make another one for that one, because I really want to go depth into it, how I started, and all the financial support and all the external support that I got. Alright, so question number 6. How did you start nursing? So nursing, I think I've already talked about it before. So nursing, it wasn't my dream. It was something that I had to do when I came to Australia. Because when you move to a new country and you know nothing, you know nobody, you have no idea how to start your career, you have no idea how to find a job. I was at that point where I had to choose something, to start something. So I stepped into nursing career, which is absolutely rewarding, and which is absolutely very satisfying, even though it's really, really at the high peak need at this point. Yeah, so it wasn't always a plan for me. So sometimes some things happen beyond your plan, and you end up appreciating it. So yes, I really, really appreciate for this job, and I'm really privileged to have this job, and I really enjoy it. At the same time, it's really, really rewarding. It's not just helping to yourself, it's helping to others, and you are utilizing your ability, your capacity to help others. And plus, you know, we are Buddhist, and I'm not saying that it's only Buddhist. I think it's all your intention and mindset. If you always have a good mindset, it can always help you to move forward, and you ended up enjoying it, you ended up appreciating what you have chosen. So yes, I'm at that stage where I'm appreciating for everything I have achieved so far, and I'm still working more towards improvising and getting more knowledge. Yeah, so it's not always my dream, but it's something that I had to choose. But now I really appreciate that I chose that one. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so question number 7. Would you ever quit nursing? Well, I don't know. I don't have any plan for that. I probably would not quit nursing, because it is one of the most rewarding job ever in your life. Nursing, you could find job anywhere, because nurses and the healthcare sector workers are always required. Like every single day, the hospitals or the residential area or the clinics or everywhere, they're always looking for nurses. So it's not that it's just a demanding job that I don't want to quit. It's just that I'm moving towards that nursing life. I'm moving towards that profession. I'm moving towards that career, which is really making me satisfying, which is really making me feel that I'm worth to be in this world. So probably I would say no, unless I have to. Okay, so question number 8. So what would be your long-term career, yoga or nursing? Why not both? It could be both. I'm not doing something particular on the basis of yoga at the moment, because this is the peak point where everybody needs nurse. So I'm really into my job at the moment. I really want to do my best. I really want to put all my effort into it and bring the best outcome out of it. And yeah, so it could be both. We never know, because nursing was never in my list and nursing was never my dream, but now I'm doing in a nursing field, so we never know. Okay, so question number 9. What is the current situation of COVID? Well, I live in Australia, Brisbane, Queensland. So current situation, every single day the cases increasing, and it's very unpredictable, but our government is doing really good. I believe they're doing their best. So I can't elaborate much about it. If you want to know more, probably you need to watch the news, because every single day it's different. For example, at my workplace there are more than 20 staff who are on isolation, but still after isolation and quarantine they would come back to work and start working, because my workplace environment is really positive. We have a really good team, and it's amazing, and I believe that we could get through or get out of this situation very soon, hopefully. And I always pray that people stay safe and healthy. Okay, so the last question number 10. Are you planning to do further study? Well, that is a question to myself. I've been asking to myself, but not for a while, until this COVID situation settled, because this is the peak point where everybody needs us. So I don't want to leave my work. I don't want to leave my job. I don't want to leave my team, because this is the phase where everybody needs everybody. Everybody needs each other. So probably I'll stick with my job. I'll stick with the current job, so that I can put my full effort and give my best. Alright, so these are the questions about my profession, and thank you so much for making this happen, and it's really interesting, and there are lots of things that I still need to think about. So yeah, I've never thought that this would be this much fun, because I've always been avoiding Q&As when my followers ask me to do that. But I really appreciate, and I'm really grateful that you ask all those questions, and thank you so much, and looking forward to catch up with you guys in the next videos. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, sanitize your hand, wear mask, social distancing, and always stay positive and drink plenty of water.